So, Ni hao from Germany. I hope you can hear me.
You can hear, yes, please.
I have problems giving my desktop to you, but I hope this will work soon. Can you see the presentation?
Yes.
So it's an honor for me to talk here. My name is Andreas Ma. I'm from Germany, and I'm very thankful for the keynote speeches and the things, especially Professor Majunda talked about. So I would be very pleased if I could talk about the later three subjects you talked about, the resilience and the mindset changes. But I'm sorry, we're still stuck in the learning challenges, and I will give you 34,000 students and are therefore the biggest university in the state of Baden-Württemberg. We have around 9,000 corporate partners, and now that was the problem during the pandemic. We have over 6,500 part-time lecturers at our university, and around 700 full-time professors, all used to standard classroom teaching. So in Germany, the pandemic hit in the middle of March, and our summer term just began on March 13th. So we had 2 times of transition time to move from standard classroom training to online mode. And I'm very pleased to say that we didn't lose a single event. So of course we had to postpone labs and projects and things like that, but we didn't skip a single lecturing. So technical, that's a success. But where do we stand 6 months later? We had huge problems. You see, most of our part-time lecturers, they are not all trained in digital literacy. Sometimes age was a key success factor because we have a lot of old age pensioners, engineers that are willing to give their knowledge to the students, and that was a big obstacle. The technical obstacles, that was there in the first, but that was not really the bottleneck. The biggest obstacle for us was that until March, we had no technical designs for online teaching, only for online self-learning, but not for teaching, because our university focused on classroom trainings now for the last 40 years. So at the moment, we're in the middle of winter term. We're in full online mode. All our lecturers, all our 6,500 lecturers are equipped with the necessary tools, with the necessary hardware. We're doing a mix of classroom and online trainings, but there is still no standard in online lecturing and hybrid lecturing, how we can teach our part-time lecturers what to do. So for 2021, we'll have a scientific analysis of the different solutions we developed over this year, and we'll find some best practices how to move on that. And I just can say the same as the 2 keynote speakers. Of course, there are threats from the pandemic area and for the post-pandemic area. Our university will not go back to the old habits and standards. That will simply not be possible. And I have the fear that, at least in Germany, not all universities will make the transition and will survive. So some of the universities, I think, will not survive that. So if you're not fast in rebalancing and enhancing the quality of our teaching standards online, we're going to vanish. So we have to do that very, very fast. But Okay, now the presentation is lacking. But I think there are more opportunities than threats. As Professor Majumdar said, we had a boost of digital learning in technology. So I am as Dean of Engineering, all the things I would have liked to happen in the last decade happened in 6 months. So I'm very pleased to see that. We are now in the very fortunate situation that we can teach time and place independent, and we can learn place and time independent. I have lecturers sitting in Hungary, in Greece, in the Scandinavian countries, all spread all over Europe. And we even had a seminar with teachers from Shenzhen last week, which was a total success. So that wouldn't have happened in that way before the pandemic. So I think it's a chance to rethink university education at the moment, and we're going to see a lot more part-time students who are working and learning. And I think we're now really talking about the establishment of real lifelong learning for teachers as well as students. So to focus how to do that, how do we do teacher development? What are our tasks for the next year? I don't think the classroom fixation of teaching will be gone from today to tomorrow, especially for the majority of the older teachers and the not so literate teachers. So classroom teaching will be there for the next years in Germany as well. The electronic tools and trainings, they develop really fast. If you see how Zoom, Teams, and others went in the last 6 months, there was a real boost. So that won't be the problem. I really think, and I'm very pleased to be part of this community, what we have to come up with soon is best practices for new didactical approaches. How can we teach our teachers to really make full use of all the techniques we have, and to introduce them into lecturing for the benefit of the students. So that will be the big task in teacher development in the next few years. I think it was very fast. That's all I wanted to share from our university. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor Ma, and thank you very much to share your experience in your university and also in Germany. And now we have the last speaker is Ma Weijing, and from Sheridan College, Canada. She's going to share her idea on reform and innovation of teacher skill development in post-pandemic era with us today. Okay, welcome, Dr. Ma.
Okay, thank you. And let me share my screen first. Okay. So, can you guys see? Okay. So, good afternoon and good morning, everyone, and greetings from Canada. I'd like to thank our organizers for taking this great initiative and hosting this event. I strongly agree and echo other keynote speakers' views, and also learn a lot during this webinar. Thank you for the opportunities for letting me participate in this event. I'm very honored. So let me first introduce myself. My name is Weijing. I'm the program coordinator and also professor from Sheridan College, Canada. I have a PhD in electrical and computer engineering, so therefore technology is something I'm very familiar with. And right now I'm a registered engineer myself. Ever since actually like March 2020, I have been working from my home office, teaching courses, delivering labs, and coordinating multiple programs. It was certainly an experience for all of us, and I learned a lot through this experience. During this time, I have been thinking about how the pandemic will impact our vocational and technical education. What type of reform and innovation do we expect from our teachers in order to do well in the post-pandemic era? Here are some of my thoughts in teaching in the engineering technology sector, and I'd like to share with my colleagues and all the attendees here. So first, here's my experience from the pandemic. Since the Canadian government issued lockdown starting early March, a series of changes were made, within our school and across country and across the world were made in order to ensure the programs are running in alternative formats. For our school, Sheridan College, that means transitioning 20,000 students from hybrid and face-to-face to online within 1 week of preparation. That was a tall task, and this is what we learned. 3 different aspects. The first one is the hands-on training. Because I'm teaching in engineering technology sector, the pandemic lockdown decoupled the lab component, the lab experience from our course delivery. All the labs are closed down, and we don't have any face-to-face anymore. Most of the lab trainings has temporarily been replaced with simulations, virtual testing, and remote accessible tools. And second one is a course delivery. When we're teaching, all our courses in my program before was face-to-face. And as soon as March starts, our teachers and students have to use the virtual classroom platform to deliver lectures, to take lectures, and conduct all the course-related tasks. Luckily, we have the e-learning platform already there. But before, it was only used as a supplement to our face-to-face lecturing. We post PowerPoints, and we actually talk, post assignments, grades, but I never used the virtual classroom feature there before until actually, we have to do this, right? So the third one is the project and group work. Because I teach in the engineering technology sector, we have a lot of, projects such like capstones, and also, we have course projects. A lot of them actually are group work and face-to-face. Since earlier this year, this is no longer a possibility. The face-to-face group work was significantly reduced. And there are alternative ways were explored in order to simulate, the group work experience, and to simultaneously actually for students to work on a same project with limited in-person interactions. The most challenging part are the capstones. Because this is a very important sector for us, part for students' graduation, and capstones has been deeply impacted through this experience. Now, I'll just, I divided my experience into 3 parts, and these are some of my thoughts I think we'll be able to do in order to improve and do well in the post-pandemic. So I'll still actually divide it into 3 parts. The first one is the hands-on training, the lab section, that part of our education. Through this experience, I feel I understand the power and limitation of simulations and virtual testings more. They are a very powerful tool. They are actually, useful for us to learn things and to get concepts across, particularly if our face-to-face contact are very limited. But I will say, actually, as an engineer myself, I think the current technology side, we still have a lot to learn and a lot to explore in order to make them actually really efficient. There are significant limitations in the delivery if we're relying only on simulations and virtual testing. So in order to improve more, I feel we need to create a more immersive experience that mimic real-life work environment. Through the help of technology. In particular, I think virtual commissioning and digital twins, these concepts has never been more important than before. And we really need to actually, use these concepts, teach students these concepts, practicing those concepts in order for us to deliver our labs properly. And also, since I'm teaching computer engineering, electronics, so I actually feel a lot of the times we wanted to explore the smaller, portable, and individual lab settings rather than the big, fancy, comprehensive labs. Because a lot of the times, students maybe wanted to take these actually activities home or somewhere more individualized, and it'll help them actually significantly. We explore a lot of these miniature labs during this pandemic time, and I think we learned a lot and we benefit a lot from this. The third one is the combination of cloud and edge technology. Computer and electronics, we all know the needs for the breaking cutting edge technologies. In particular, I feel students actually taking the edge embedded devices home and actually work from there. And then actually our teachers setting up the global cloud setting and to interact with students actually through the edge to cloud, cloud to edge interactions and communications. That actually benefit our delivery a lot. And because our labs are mostly reduced to bare minimum, we are still offering some hybrid course because it's impossible for us to deliver everything online. And we have some face-to-face time, but that face-to-face time is very much precious now because instead of actually having 20 hours face-to-face, we have like probably 5 or 2 hours per week. So therefore, we wanted to make best use of this face-to-face hour time, and to encourage students active learning during this time, and to engage students to use this time to learn, to ask questions, and to really get trained on the hands-on part. Okay, so the second one is the course delivery. I also learned a lot about the limitations of the e-learning platform and virtual delivery platform. I know this is inevitable, like we are going to switch to the blended learning as our other keynote speaker emphasized before. But this process, I think teachers need to be a very active part of it. We need to contribute to the development and upgrade of the existing e-learning platforms. Because right now they're still in their early infancy stage. They are developing things, but I think at this moment we need to have our voice heard. We need to improve and customize them to our needs. Because this is a time, if we don't say anything, and actually our expertise is not utilized to the fullest, then actually the final product, when it's finalized, will not be as useful to us. And also, I feel, like in the course delivery, we need to proactively interweave the classroom activities, which now happens in the virtual classroom, with theories and concepts. This pandemic has removed the lab from our teaching altogether for extended period of time. And I just realized actually how important it is, the lab, to our students and to our teachers. And going back from this absolute remote delivery, I wanted to use the knowledge I learned through this experience to emphasize more on the class activity. Students cannot treat our lectures as they're staring at a TV. Even though a lot of them are doing that, but I don't think this is the right way. They need to be actively actually engaging. And also, I think, providing effective communication channels, two-way communication channels, especially from students to us, is very important. It is very beneficial for them to engage and interact. I used to think actually the number of students' active comments during my virtual classroom is very important. But actually through this experience, I cannot feel it's not purely reliable. Because, if we want students to treat our lectures not as TV, watching a TV show, they probably wanted to think and engage activities and doing things and learning very actively during this time. So therefore, they probably don't have time to comment on your lectures and on your things, but that's okay. They're learning. That's a very important thing. I think this is something we learned through this pandemic. And also the project and group work. We need to emphasize on professional project management principles. Because in the end, now managing the classroom, managing your course projects becomes a professional, almost like a professional projects too. We want to learn from our industry because they've been practicing this one for many, many years on using the most cutting edge tools in team management. Now our students actually are located in different locations, just like actually companies working with, like multi-sites, right? We wanted to encourage our students' creativity. I was always amazed how creative they are when they are turning into completing their projects and group work. We let them understand actually the challenges they're facing today are, will likely emerge in real life situation anyways. So the skills they learned through this experience are extremely transferable in future careers. So in conclusion, we are in the middle of unprecedented, changes. The teaching paradigm shift is inevitable and imminent. I think all the other keynote speakers has covered many aspects of it. And this is very challenging, but this is also great news for us, because with immense challenges, we always come with immense opportunities. This is a time that should reshape how we deliver and how we teach. And we are here to learn together with our students. The lifelong learning we need to instill into our students, and the lifelong learning we need to instill, keeping ourselves as well. And the question is, are we ready to take this challenge? Are we ready to learn with our students? I think that's a question we need to ask everybody. Okay, I think this is it for my presentation today. And thank you so much. And I know it's due to time limit, it's like a very short talk, but if you wanted to further this discussion, and my contact information is here, and this is our beautiful campus, which is mostly empty at this point. Okay, so thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Ma, and thank you for sharing your own experience and in the reform and innovation of teacher skill development. And I know that still we have more than 80 participants from different parts of the world in this conference, but because time is too limited, we do not have time for the questions. So again, thank you the experts today and for sharing the ideas about the challenges and countermeasures in teacher professional development in post-pandemic era from different perspectives. Thanks WFCP and the CEAIE for providing the platform. Various activities will be launched next year. We are confident that by working together, we can build an international, sustainable, and vigorous community for teacher professional development. Thank you again. Have a nice day, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. Okay, so much for the conference today. Thank you very much.